Hello friends, today I am discussing an important facet of nation building that interests historians and all the other people, which is nationalism and liberalism. Nationalism and liberalism have a long ambivalent relationship. They have reinforced each other at times and sharply clashed at others. The character of that relationship depends largely on what kind of nationalism is in question and how liberalism is understood. Key points: common origin in modernity. Both nationalism and liberal ideas rose with the modern nation state, industrialization, and the decline of dynastic legitimacy. National movements often used liberal ideas: popular sovereignty, constitutionalism, individual rights, to justify self government and state building. Example: French Revolution, 19th century liberal national movements in Italy and Germany. Two broad types of nationalism matter for compatibility. Civic political nationalism defines the nation by shared political values, citizenship, and institutions. It is more congenial to liberalism because it can be inclusive, uphold rule of law, and belong and tie belonging to consent and rights rather than ethnicity. Ethnic or cultural nationalism defines the nation by ancestry, language, religion, or culture. It often conflicts with liberal principles because it privileges group identity over universal individual rights and can justify exclusionary policies. Points of compatibility: national self determination and liberal democracy. National sovereignty can enable popular rule and protection of rights through democratic institutions. Social solidarity. A sense of national community can undergird public support for liberal institutions and redistributive policies that require a shared policy. Reconciliation of universalism and particularism. Some theorists, example liberal nationalism proponents, argue a modest national attachment strengthens liberal democracy without abandoning liberal universalism. Points of tension and conflict: universal rights versus particular identity. Liberalism's universalism, equal individual rights, clashes with nationalism that privileges the nation as a collective with special claims. Majoritarianism and minority rights. A strong majority centered nationalism can erode civic liberties and minority protection under the guise of national unity or security. Borders and movement. Liberal cosmopolitanism and free movement sit uneasily with nationalist insistence on territorial sovereignty and controlled borders. Illiberal nationalism. Movements that fuse nationalism with authoritarianism or ethnic exclusivism, example fascist or xenophobic populisms, actively reject core liberal norms. Intellectual perspectives. Ernst Jellner and others link nationalism to modernization and industrial society rather than to liberal ideas per se. Ernst Renan and later theorists distinguish nation as a civic project, a daily plebiscite, from broad-based definitions. Contemporary writers, example Eyal Tamir, David Miller, have defended some form of liberal nationalism as compatible and politically useful. Critics warn this can mask exclusionary tendencies. Practical implications. Liberal constitutionalism is most stable when paired with an inclusive civic nationalism and fosters allegiance to democratic norms and protecting minority rights. Where nationalism becomes ethnic, illiberal, or majority